Today's your friendly neighborhood quick Christian, and today is the Friday word. Okay, it has been so long, and it's so wonderful to see you. As you can see, I'm bringing you a little bit of retro Pam Grier right up the hill. Okay, so this was my wig for the play I was just in, Hooded Being Black for Dummies, where I played Apollo. Yes, we made Apollo sister girl number one. Holla. Okie dokie. So let's get it popping. Get it popping for the ancestors. Today, what we're going to talk about is divine timing, and particularly, I'm going to reference the show that I was just in and the journey of that show. So, many times in the Bible, there's a lot about things about timing in the Bible, right? Job is about timing in the Bible. Joseph is about timing in the Bible, right? Abraham, Sarah, right? Naomi and Ruth, all about timing, right? The timing, the unfolding of events and how they will be. Now, we always know that as Christians, we have free will, always. You can always choose another path, right? But that's why it says in Proverbs 3:5-6, trust in the God with all your heart. Lean not on your own understanding, right? And so sometimes when we're trusting and having faith, it doesn't always look like, oh my God, you are so great. I'm just going to really stay by your side and I'm never going to complain. Please, right? We are on this earth. We are not supernatural, right? Even though we may have a connection to the supernatural, we're open to the supernatural. We are fallible. We are on the earth, right? And so all the fallible, fleshy things that come with that is part of our journey. And I am no different. So particularly in this show that I'm talking about, Hooded, I booked this show in 2020. Yes, that 2020, right? So of course it didn't happen. Then it was supposed to happen 2021, didn't happen because Delta. And then 2022, basically it was like, monkeypox or not, this show is going up. Amen? So I must say in 2021, I thought for sure the show was not happening. But when I saw seeing the paperwork coming in March, I was like, oh my goodness, this is really happening. Amen. Now, one of the things I did, again, I always want to keep it 100 in the more fleshy parts, is in this show was an ensemble piece. But I was the oldest person in the show, right? And second, I had the smallest role of the show, right? The least line. All my lines were under like 10 minutes, right? So for someone here, I'm the most mature, and I've been doing this for a while. I spent, a whole lot of money in being an actress, right? Happily so, but it takes money to do this and to be good, right? And so for me, that was really challenging, right? It was really challenging. I had to talk to my friends, I had to talk to my sister, I talked to my bestie. Like it was hard and it was a real struggle. And after the first Zoom rehearsal, I was gonna call up and be like, I'm out. And it was so hard for me not to, but the spirit was just like, just give it a minute. So I did. In that time, I got offers. I potentially offered for one show. I was in final callbacks for. Was really excited about it, and it didn't happen, which was kind of shocking because I had literally 2 callbacks, the phone call, the whole 9 yards. So I was like, okay. Then there was another position another gig that opened up, another show. They offered to me immediately, and I was really on the fence. And so I was talking that I went, but one of the things is trust not in your own understanding, right? Stay close to God. Amen. So I sought counsel. I said, I don't know if I'm making it because I was unsure. So I talked to a couple people and then finally talked to my bestie who was just like boom, 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 and sort of laid it out, right? And I really, because that's our connections, because we both love God, right? That was that was the deciding factor for me. So I was like, I'm going to go with it. And as we started in the journey, I was really like, I was so resentful. I was struggling. Okay. I was really struggling because I was like, God, why am I here? Why? Right. So that's what I say. The walk of faith is not always pretty. It's not always fancy. It's not always glowing, right? Sometimes it's just staying true. And again, that unfolding, that divine timing, right? As it says in Ecclesiastes, right? There's a time for everything and a season for every activity under the sun. So I was trying to understand why this was my journey. So then it unfolds. One, this is a non-ex show, right? So particularly in my position, my place, how long I've been in this game, the other show would have made me equity, right? So even though I'm in no rush because I'm already SAG, But nevertheless, this is a non-X show, you know, so the whole journey, this is just sort of adding to it, right? So again, it unfolds. We get this one review, it's great, you know, then we get another review from the New York Times. So let me tell you how this is divine. The New York Times never reviews a non-X show. Never. Okay, so this is what I'm trying to tell you. This is the moment of divine timing. It was when that happened, and my girl Kristen said, "Now you know why you're there," right? So I say this to say, again, in time, the unfolding of time, right? I always go back to Joseph and think of Joseph, particularly in this situation, right? Joseph was the most loved son, kind of spoiled, thinking that he walks on air, you know, telling people like, you know, my dreams told me this and my dreams told me that, right? And then reality hit, boom, right? And then he had to be humbled. And he became a leader, not just because he had this gift from God to be divine dreams. He became a leader because he understood how to humble himself, to put his ego to the side, right? And to forgive and to lead, right? And to understand, oh, this is why this happened, right? I was being fleshy, but this is what, you know, don't worry. I'm not going to try to get back to you when his brothers tried to get him killed, right? Because I came before you for God. That's why I'm here. That's so the people wouldn't have famine. You know, that's what we did. That was little stuff. This is the bigger stuff. Amen. And so, and I think of in this journey is the importance of sometimes we have to humble ourselves. Sometimes we have to realize that the role we have, like my role was in service to the lead of the show, right? But in my role is that it had presence, right? And in many ways, this is the most respect I've ever received as an actress in a show, right? Now, you know, of course, I've had my own show. I've had other, like, I'm not saying that I've been on this journey, but the most consistent, you know, at the end we had sold out shows at a sold out run at the end, right? So that's just to say that sometimes you just don't know. And so I hope this video for someone who may be thinking, why don't I have this? Why don't I have that? Not that you haven't earned it, not that you don't deserve it, but sometimes we have to understand there's a time for everything and a season for every activity on earth. And so this may be your season, and what you're sowing right now may reap in another place, right? Trust. I'm here walking to you as a testimony. Amen. All right, everyone. It's so wonderful to be here. I hope this was so helpful to someone. Tomorrow will be prayer chat after a long hiatus. There will be a prayer chat. It will be, the information will be above or below. And if we don't see you, I hope you have a beautiful, wonderful weekend. Bye.